Doctors of Reddit, what is something that you wish everyone knew about their body? You need some kind of exercise. Doesn't matter how you feel right now. Sitting for 12 to 16 hours a day will have negative consequences. Some things just don't belong in your rectum. Edit. Woke up to a whole lot of upvotes. God damn. This is a first for me. So EHH. Not sure what to do with it. But thanks for the platinum. And just to be clear. No. I'm not a doctor. Just a concerned citizen who spent entirely too much time on the internet. That administering CPR compressions ASAP is one of the greatest indicators of successful outcomes. You often will feel normal even with high blood pressure. It's often found incidentally. So don't wait until it gives you symptoms you don't want to go through. Edit. To all those wondering how to figure out if it's asymptomatic. Get checked at least once a year if you're over 35Y. There's no other way. Edit 2. Thank you for the silver and gold kind strangers. Don't do DIY surgery or hold off on reporting things that are obvious warning signs. Don't be the guy who tried to remove his skin cancer with a knife. This is going to sound really basic. But I wish my patients would know what meds they are on when they come to the hospital. At least once a day comes somebody in who goes, yeah, I take 8 pills in the morning, 3 in the evening, and 4 at lunch, but don't ask me which. You're a doctor. You should know. I beg of you. Before going to a doctor that has never seen you before, write your meds, doses and all on a piece of paper. Edit. I was on shift and just now noticed that this blew up. Just to clarify, I work in Germany on the internal medicine ward. I can only see patients' record if they were in my hospital or in the neighboring hospital, otherwise I have to call their family doc, who may or may not be at all times available. I mostly just send a family member home to bring the goodies bag so that we can go over them, but as you can imagine, that takes a lot of time. Thank you for the silvers. I shall treasure them forever. Your kidneys and liver cheerfully do all the toxin elimination you'll ever need. Cleanses and other detoxifying products are bullshit woo and a waste of money. The people who sell them are predators who only care about your money becoming theirs. Vaginas are self-cleaning and douching does more harm than good because it flushes out all the good bacteria that's meant to be there. Edit. I made this comment at 2 a.m. and my eyes skipped over the part where it says, Doctors of Reddit, oops. I'm not a doctor, just a person with a vagina who's tired of all the unhealthy vaginal misconceptions. Also, when you go to wash down there, use soap without fragrance and clean just the outside. My phone is acting up. So if this has already been posted, I apologize. But women, please do not use soap or douching products inside your vagina. It has a delicate pH balance and this is how you get yeast infections. Wash your labia, but do not clean internally. The vagina is self-cleaning just like your eyeballs. Do you wash your eyeballs? No. Do you wash your face? Yes. How to check for skin cancer. If you see any moles or anything that are a. Asymmetrical. B. Border, odd borders. Like they're jagged or something. C. Color, different colors. D. Diameter, grows. E. Evolve, well. Evolves. Go get it checked out. It might be skin cancer. Many simpler diseases in the body can be compared to a car. When you don't get regular checkups and take regular care, it's not like you'll notice something bad happening right away. Just like how you won't notice a missed oil change a couple thousand miles later. But diseases like diabetes, high blood pressure, alcohol dependence, etc., they all sneak up on you. Just like how eventually, that engine won't run as smooth. The second thing is that your body isn't like a TV remote, where you pop out the old batteries and put in some new ones. You can't expect to come into a hospital and walk out feeling 100%. People have some unrealistic expectations of what doctors can do. And there is research which demonstrates how TV shows provide the public with these false beliefs. I'm a Grey's fan also. But it's not real medicine. The first-line treatment for most of our common diseases is, wait for it, lifestyle modification. It's not drugs. It's not surgery. 50% of newly diagnosed type 2 diabetics do not require anything more than diet and exercise. Cessation of smoking is the second best thing you can do for your health. And every little amount you decrease smoking has a profound impact. Again, you won't see it now. But you'll see it down the road, like the oil change. And if you do need meds, like how most will eventually need meds for their blood pressure, don't play around with it. Take it every day. Hypertension is called the silent killer. You can't really feel your blood pressure, but it's slowly damaging every artery and every organ in your body. And that comes down to the last point. Exercising is the key to a better life. If you put in the work, there is no upper limit. That's not an exaggeration, but the findings of a landmark paper that made news everywhere last October. Not exercising is worse than smoking, diabetes, or coronary artery disease. It is the single best thing you can do for a healthier life. Your health is a shared responsibility, and we're here to help. This may not be the flashiest Reddit comment, but this one may actually save your life. Edit. So I'm getting a lot of great questions on what are good exercises and how long should you be exercising. This is probably the single most asked question I get from my parents' friends and random strangers. Unfortunately, it's a bit complicated. I could go on quoting tons of papers from a variety of sources, but that would be difficulty to parse though. An exercise regimen should ideally be set by a medical professional specifically for you. It may vary based on your age, occupation, underlying health conditions, fitness goals, etc. I couldn't give a 60-year-old with COPD the same instructions as a 25-year-old. I don't want to say something in a Reddit comment that would end up hurting you or your loved one, so I won't go into specifics. The generic advice we give to our older patients is to walk at a brisk pace. Enough for a mild sweat. There is some evidence to show that even normal walking can significantly help improve your cardiac health. I'm only focusing on cardiovascular health here, and there are other things to consider with exercise. I don't want to sound annoying, but I really feel it's best you talk to your doctor about what else you can do to improve your health. We'd be glad to walk you through a plan made specifically for you. Also, regarding number of steps per day, the 10,000 steps number is unscientific and largely propagated by the pedometer-making industry. First, it should be age-adjusted. It also doesn't directly correlate with losing weight. However, personally, as someone approaching 30, I do like 10,000. It's a nice clean number and I can make a game out of it for myself. It is important to note that this is not for everyone. Where the orifice each gender urinates through really is. Antibiotics are not some magic cure for every pain in your body, nor for the flu or common cold. Never ever boil breast milk. In my country there is a popular belief that breast milk jaundice in newborns can be treated by boiling one's breast milk, but by doing this you destroy all the nutrients and it basically becomes as nutritious as water is. Do not give honey to children below the age of 1. Do not rub your child with rubbing alcohol as to lower his furor. Baby wipes don't substitute daily baths, showers. Yes, I am a pediatrician. That the immune system is an incredibly complex and nuanced organization of cells that communicates readily to destroy anything deemed hostile within the body. It helps explain why vaccines are supposed to work, why allergies come and go, and why transplants are hard to successfully pull off. Edit. A lot of people are asking how allergies work. So here is a brief explanation using pollen, allergic rhinitis, as an example. Your immune system senses pollen in the body. It doesn't appear to be one of your cells. So the B cell collects samples of it, relays it to a helper T cell, which in turn helps specialize the B cell to become one of two cells, effector and memory cells. Effectors mass produce antibodies, while memory cells are reserved for future invasions. This is why initial exposure to a new substance may not necessarily trigger allergic responses. The signal is still weak as the immune system is still acclimating to a foreign particle. Antibodies flood the pollen particles and signal for basophils, mast cells to release histamine, the hormone responsible for inflammatory responses. This is where the runny noses and sneezing come into play, and for more severe allergies. Anaphylactic shock. Allergies may fade out over time for several reasons. When exposed to a non-threatening level of an allergy for a long enough time, the body decides that it's not really a threat anymore. Furthermore, as people age, the immune system weakens, making it harder to detect and overreact to allergies. I'm a dentist, and if you don't take care of your gums your teeth will fall out of your head and you'll get pissed at me when your jawbone atrophies and your denture doesn't fit anymore. Edit. Essentially periodontitis causes inflammation and recession of the gums. which in turn cause inflammation and recession of bone. After that, teeth start getting mobile and falling out. Edit 2. I appreciate you all asking questions and trying to improve your oral health, but without doing an exam and x-rays there's very little I can actually recommend other than using one of those new patient coupons you get from every dentist in the neighborhood to get checked out. Also, I love the dentists aren't D0 Court 0 RZ comments LMAO. I'll think about them when I do the 2 surgeries I have planned tomorrow. That they only have one and their behavior now, drinking, smoking, not taking medicines, or whatever, will impact their life quality and expectancy. Sounds logical, but very few patients really realize it. I'm a vet, but I'm sure some doctors will have come across this too. Amputated limbs do not grow back. I've had far too many people asking how long it will take for their pet's amputated limb to grow back. So I'm assuming a few doctors out there will have had patients asking the same of their own missing limbs. Baby doctor here. About to graduate. Unless you have liver or kidney failure. Your body detoxes itself really well. Don't get scammed by these detox teas and whatever. Edit. I mean that I'm a baby cuz I'm just starting out. Not that I'm a doctor of babies. Just to be clear, I won't specialize for a while yet. Your mental health is just as important as your physical health. If you could keep track of the assorted parts you've had removed or added, that'd be very helpful. I'm not saying you need to know whether your fundoplication was a Nissen or a door. But if you're complaining about belly pain, it would be nice to know that the last time you had belly pain they took out your gallbladder, appendix, sigmoid colon. And if you've ever had something implanted, and they gave you a little card? That's not warranty information. That tells us if you're going to explode if you go in an MRI. Bring it. Otherwise it will be Googled. Type 2 diabetes is more serious than most people realize. I work as a doctor in hemodialysis and most of them are due to diabetic nephropathy. It also affects your eyes, nerves, immune system, etc. Simple life changes can help you, but no one seems to care. I even lost 9 kilograms myself because I had a family history of diabetes and to be healthy. Edit. Wow, thanks for the silver stranger. I didn't expect this comment to be big, but please take care of yourselves people, because it is really sad for us doctors to see people get ill because of a preventable illness. Also, there are lots of good subreddits for people trying to make a lifestyle change. You and your body deserve better. Edit 2. Change diabetes to type 2 diabetes for clarification. Changed easy to simple. Ejaculating blood happens to most people at least once in their lives, and in 99% of cases it resolves without taking any action within a week. It doesn't even warrant a doctor visit. Peeing blood, for both sexes, is a serious medical emergency and you should immediately go to the ER. People think it's the other way around. Drink water. Some people seem to think that if you act healthy for a bit, it'll make up for being a wreck. There are so many things wrong with this. Just one example, antioxidants are like gas for your car. You can store up a certain amount of vitamins. But your tank can only hold so much. If you binge and overfill your tank, it doesn't do anything, you excrete it out as waste. And you can't expect to go the next several months without gas just because you tried to overload it before. You're going to still need to get gas. Same goes for your fruits and veggies. Had someone tell me he went vegetarian for a few weeks, which meant he was done for the year. He was dead serious. Had a patient at risk for heart failure try to insist that if she stayed away from salt entirely for X days, weeks, she should be able to have her fill of McDonald's fries and ramen. Had a smoker argue that if he stopped for some time, he should be able to smoke freely for a while. With some digging, stopping turned out to mean a couple less cigarettes a day. I think there are a lot of obvious ones. Like how lifestyle choices in your 20s impact your health and quality of life in your 40s. It would help if more patients knew their family history, though not everyone has this opportunity, unfortunately. Prevention is becoming more and more important in medicine. And treating a disease in its early stages is a lot better than catching it late. If you have family members who had ovarian or colon cancer in their 30s, that is very significant for your own risk. The screening and tests we run might change. Depending. If you want to start the pill, it's important to know about breast cancer, DVTs, clotting disorders in the family. If you're a bit overweight and have no metabolic syndrome problems in the family, Compared to a bit overweight, but both your parents have type 2 diabetes and cardiovascular disease. The management priorities change. Asking your family about any recurring diseases or diseases that occurred early, 20s, 30s, maybe 40s, can be helpful. There are certain common conditions that are underdiagnosed but easily fixed. Even if you have nonspecific symptoms, it doesn't hurt to tell your doctor during the next visit. About 5% of U.S. adults have an iron deficiency, which can cause loss of concentration and fatigue. And a huge amount are vitamin D deficient. When I am able to complete a systems review, ask screening questions about every different body system, I end up discovering a lot of irritable bowel syndrome, hypothyroidism, insomnia, joint pain, headaches, etc. that impact quality of life. But people don't bring it up because they don't want to be a bother, or think the symptoms are too vague. It's not a bother. And often, but not always, these conditions have simple treatments which can really improve how you feel. Not a doctor, but I'm a trauma nurse. Motorcycles are fucking awesome, but they are also death machines. Don't ever get on a fucking motorcycle. But if you do anyway, wear a fucking helmet. You only get one body. The way you treat it has a significantly higher impact in how your health will end up in a decade than what sort of interventions we can give you. You really should treat your body like a temple. Edit. It's a saying, y'all. If you want, treat it like a family heirloom, bonsai, or your favorite china. Edit 2. The original question is asking what I wished more people knew about their body. I answered this by saying I wish they would do more self-care, advice that is easier said than done. This means keeping up with mental and physical health, eating well, exercising, and not utilizing tobacco, nicotine, drinking to an excess, or other substances. I am in no way advocating for avoiding the use of prescribed medicines or advice given to you by your own primary care provider. I wonder how many of these answers are from actual doctors. Not a doctor, but this information could save a life. In an emergency situation where you are giving first aid, CPR, to someone instead of stating general instructions to the group of inevitable onlookers like someone call 911, someone get a defibrillator point, if able, otherwise some other form of direction, to someone and say you call 911 and you find a defibrillator. This prevents the bystander syndrome where people think someone else will probably do that, and gives clear instructions, allowing for a more efficient process where literally seconds could mean life or death. Sorry. I know I'm joining late. I had to make an account. Actually a doctor. I wish people would know that when I say I don't think CPR is in your relative's best interests. I am not saying I am going to withdraw all treatment immediately. CPR is brutal. And it has a much lower success rate, even if done promptly in hospital, than the movies make out. If you are old, or have a lot of medical problems, then the success rate goes down even more. If I don't want to do CPR on you, it's not because I want you to die. It's because I don't want to fracture your ribs. Expose your body to a huge group of people you don't know. Everyone loves attending a crash call. And repeatedly assault your dead body for nothing. I want you to die with dignity and care if there is no chance of bringing you back. In summary, CPR is great and everyone should learn how to do it. It does save lives. But if a doctor suggests it should not be performed, please give serious thought to that. We don't suggest a DNA CPR for no reason. That there is a wide range of normal. Don't be embarrassed by your body. Having said that, if you are concerned about anything, ask your doctor. We have generally heard it all before. And trust me, we have nearly always seen it all before. Maybe you have something that has been bothering you for ages, but you were too scared or embarrassed to ask about it. Just ask. It might be nothing, and you have been stressing about it for no reason. And if not, then you are at least one step closer to getting it fixed. No one can help if they don't know. There are no stupid questions. So ask away. I'm always amazed when I have been asked about something that has been bothering a patient for years and years. But they were too embarrassed, scared to bring it up. Most of the time, it is nothing, a completely normal body function, feature. Other times, it is something that should have been discussed right away. You know your body best. So speak up. Don't wait for the doctor to ask the right question. I'm not a doctor, but as someone that works with those who may be in a psychotic break. Get sleep. Most psychosis happens because someone haven't had slept or haven't had good sleep for extended periods of time. Some people just need 20 straight hours of sleep and then they never end up in a psychiatric hospital ever again. And don't just randomly stop your medication because you feel better. You feel better because you have consistent amount of whatever is leveled in your body now. And now that your body is hitting equilibrium, everything is going great. So keep doing what you're doing. I've seen people go on and off their medications for years, and it really starts to mess up your body if you do that for too long. Tell us what drugs and alcohol you're on. We aren't gonna tell the cops. We aren't gonna lecture you. But it might change the anesthesia I give you. Some stuff I give you might kill you. If you drink a 30-pack a day. Tell me. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to drop a like. If you would like to see more content like this in the future, subscribe and turn on notifications to be notified about future videos. Now check out one of these interesting videos.